You are watching ESPN Cricket for Match Day T20 edition. This is the mid-innings in the game between Mumbai Indians and Kings 11. Punjab batting first. Mumbai Indians have notched up 176 for 7. The top scorer there, Quinton de Kock, getting 60 runs. And then you had Murugan Ashwin picking up 2 wickets. Of course, good bowling there by the other Ashwin as well. Didn't get wickets, but was very, very economical. And there, William also picking up 2 wickets, giving away just 40 runs. Joining me, Deep Das Gupta and Brad Hodge. Brad, at one point it looked like 200 was par.
Yeah, it did. Look, I think the wicket itself looks particularly good. Fast outfield, and Mumbai Indians were certainly on track for 200. And I actually feel that they're actually 15 to 20 short of where they should be.
What happened at that time? There was a phase, then you had Yuvraj Singh and Karan Pollard not being able to push the tempo as you'd expect these two.
Yeah, a couple of things. I guess 12th over we were here, and we actually at that point in time was 100 something for 2, and we mentioned double
105,
it.
106.
Yeah, I said double it and all, and then our forecaster said no, 180, 170 is the target where they should be.
Forecaster got you.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good call actually from forecaster. But yeah, the other thing, it makes you realize how important was Vijay Shankar's knock yesterday. After that good start, just to keep that momentum going is not an easy job, and that's what happened here as well. Had a fantastic start, but then when Yuvraj came in, Yuvraj was 18 of 22 or something, and Pollard as well didn't keep that momentum going, and that's where they lost few overs there, and maybe that's the reason they're 10-15 run short, as Haji mentioned.
All right, those of you watching us on Facebook, do send in your questions. I'll try to put some of those questions to Deep and Brad. But inspired selection there, you had 2 Ashwins versus 2 Pandya brothers, and then the selection there to get Murugan.
Yeah, well, he actually bowled particularly well, didn't he, M. Ashwin? I thought he was particularly impressive. His wrong was effective. I thought Quinton de Kock played him quite well, but he had a lot of effect against everyone else. So look, you'd expect a good leg spinner to have an effect, on a dryish wicket in the Mohali in the daytime. So well done. It was a good selection. He's come good, and he bowled particularly well.
The other thing that may have helped him was the fact that you had Yuvraj Singh. Typically we've seen him be a bit of a slow starter when it comes to facing the spinners to begin with, and that's what happened.
Yeah, not just that, I think bowled really well to Yuvraj, Murugan Ashwin. Didn't bowl a leg spin. I can't remember actually him bowling a leg spin to
all googlies
to Yuvraj, and that's exactly what we were talking about when Yuvraj hit those first 3 sixes to Chahal. Why isn't he bowling his googlies? I think it was very smart of Murugan Ashwin not to bowl his usual stock ball, which is leg spin to him.
There's a question from Jiten Chandrana. He wants to know, Yuvraj was not able to pick Murugan Ashwin. Could he have bowled an extra over instead of being taken off? Brad, you want to take that?
No, he bowled his 4 overs.
He's talking about right at the start when Yuvraj is struggling against Murugan.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you know a batsman's not picking your wrong or your leg spinner, then by all means he should have been kept on. Look, he may have been keeping him back for a little trick later on against the Pandya brothers or Pollard in particular. And as a bowler, you're happy to get away with 6.25 an economy and picking up 2 wickets. So we were probably of the opinion that 3 spinners may have been effective on this wicket with Mujib in the lineup, but he's done his job. I think M. Ashwin's done particularly well.
Another question coming in from Mir Sohail. He wants to know, Deep, I'll throw that to you. It's been ages now since Pollard performed for Mumbai Indians. You can't leave Irvin Lewis and Ben Cutting out and hope that Pollard will become Andre Russell. I don't think he's trying to become Andre Russell.
No, listen, you also go by what he's done over the years as well. I mean, it's always going to be difficult to keep someone like Pollard out of the playing 11 after what he's done over the years for Mumbai Indians. So you have to look at that. There's no two ways about it. But yes, not even Lewis because he's an opener, so that's not in direct competition, these two. But yes, Ben Cutting. I think Ben Cutting has the ability to bat well, and obviously he's a really good bowler. So he's kind of an all-rounder. That is a possibility. But like I said, what Pollard has done over the years, you can't not look at that.
Okay, Vijay is wanting to know, just clarify for us if it was a 7-ball over. I'm guessing he's talking about that first over. It wasn't, because it was a dead ball. Maybe the cameras missed that signal for the dead ball. So it wasn't. It was just a 6-ball over. Of course, it was a dot ball to begin with in the first one. So it doesn't make too much of a difference. So I hope that's clarified for you. I'm just going to go back to now talking about R. Ashwin. And this is a discussion we had before the start of this match. Should he be bowling in the power play? And guess what? He did. So he did calculate, and this seemed like the right time for him to do it.
Yeah, he did, and he bowled particularly well. 4 overs for 26 runs economically. That's pretty good. No wickets, but I thought
2 overs in the power play.
Yeah, I mean he did a good job against the Rohit is a good player, spin, and also that matchup that Quentin de Kock was a good one, and as we mentioned, he'll certainly do it when the right time is there. He's a calculating cricketer, and he'll certainly put himself in the deep end if it's the right time. But for him, it's all about matchups and how it works on that particular day.
Looking ahead of will Kings 11 be able to chase that target? We've got Rohit and Jiten both asking a question related to that. I'll put Rohit's question first. Has the pitch slowed down? Was that the reason that they slowed down towards the end?
It did. It has slowed down. There's no two ways about it. And day games, it does happen because it's hot out there. Obviously, it's been out there. The pitch has obviously dried up a little more. And we saw Morgan Ashwin getting purchase of the surface. He got the ball to move. He got his googlies to turn as well. It is on the slower and drier side. It will turn. Second half will still be, I believe, better to bat on as compared to the first half. But credit to both the Ashwins actually. And talking about R. Ashwin, listen, even in the first game, he went for 20 of his 4. He has not picked too many wickets. And he's been in the headlines maybe for the wrong reasons. But he's been bowling really well in the last 3 games.
I'm going back to the pitch. R. Ashwin at the toss said there will be grease in the second innings. I don't know what that would mean. What would grease be in the second innings?
It just means the ball comes on a fraction more. So what happens is usually the dew factor starts to come into play. There won't be dew as in such, but what it does is it just creates
Quickens
a little
up.
bit of dampness, a little bit of moisture gets into the wicket and it slides on a little bit. It won't happen till about around the 12th, 13th, 14th over. So however sides are positioned in that particular part of the game is really, really important.
And what also happens is because the temperature drops as well. I mean, we're talking about it's around 5:36 right now, whatever the time is. The temperature drops, there'll be 7 minutes of rolling. So that kind of settles at least the topsoil for a while.
Is there an issue with Mumbai Indians middle order? Is another question that is being posted.
No issues as such. It's just that Yuvraj, obviously, I mean, he's got to take a lot more responsibility. A lot would depend on him because if he's going to bat at number 4, the middle order looks really good, to be honest. I mean, you've got Surya Kumar Yadav, who's been a consistent performer over the last few years. You've got Yuvraj Singh, you've got Krunal Pandya, Hardik Pandya, and Pollard. So there's enough firepower there. And even, I mean, today 176 is not a bad score. It might be past score, but the kind of situation they were in, maybe another 10-15 runs should have been added to that.
Or then we were discussing at the time that they were going rather well, Mumbai Indians. Who would be coming in next? Of course, it was a toss-up between Pollard and then Hardik Pandya. Do you think Hardik has now nicked it? He's the one you'd rather send when you need quicker runs rather than Pollard.
Yeah, look, there may be a few issues. Surya Kumar is probably adapting to, instead of open to batting, coming in at number 3. For me, Hardik Pandya and Krunal are pretty effective players. You can't send them ahead of Pollard because Pollard's done it many times for Mumbai before. And going back to that question on Pollard, he's not a banker. He'll win you 2 or 3 games in the tournament. That's all he's there for. It'll happen. It's just that... you can't bank on him getting 40 or 50 every game. For him, it's going to be impact. And to be honest, when you got that firepower around and they fire, Mumbai Indians are going to be in good stead.
All right. Ayash Shah wants to know, and this is the question that you mentioned, why should Mumbai then stick with this player reputation? Do they really have to? I mean, status of a player should be quickly aware of cutting Ishan Kishan, 2 Ls, should they bring these people on rather than just going by reputation that they have?
It's not about reputation. You've got to understand this format, the success rate is lower than, let's say, 50 overs or test match cricket because batsmen are, or rather even bowlers, are taking a lot more risks. So obviously your success rate would be a little less. And then what kind of players are you looking at? As Haji mentioned, you're looking at Pollard, who's a match winner. He's not going to come good in all 14 games. But chances are, the games that he comes good, he's going to win it for you. So you've got to have the right balance between match winners and people who consistently perform. That's the reason last time around we were talking about strike rate and average. So if the averages are high, you're all right. If the strike rate is low, the other side to look at it, strike rates are high, averages are low. So you need a combination of both kinds of players. So that's where I think getting the right combination is important. Pollard is some guy where the strike rate would be higher, averages would be low, but obviously the games that he'll fire, he'll win the games for you more often than not.
Two questions coming in. Everyone's really excited to see the matchup. You'll have a Bumrah bowling to Chris Gayle. Firstly, how many overs do you see Bumrah bowling in the power play?
Look, they'll give the ball to McClenaghan early because he's been vulnerable to left arm seam pace as well. Having Bumrah there as well, I'd be tempted to give Bumrah at least 2 in this power play to knock Chris over. However, if you get away with no damage, I actually wouldn't even mind seeing Bumrah in the middle. So Chris has actually been more damaging outside the power play than inside. So if you can contain that in there, then he might be actually useful using 1, 2 in the middle and actually 1 at the death. So look, it's going to be interesting to see how he uses his bowlers. Makande is going to be really important in the middle there. And Krunal Pandya, he becomes irrelevant if Chris Gayle is still at the crease. So it's a little bit of a juggling act for Rohit Sharma.
You got that right. Mitch is there with the new ball. He's out to bowl. But a quick word on that. Chris Gayle as well. Now, the downside of that bowling 2 overs with Bumrah in the power play is Chris Gayle tends to be very, very careful to begin with. So therein you waste those 2 overs, and then when he gets going is when you might miss Bumrah.
See, with Chris Gayle, the thing is he picks his bowlers. Chances are he will not pick Bumrah and Malinga to go after.
Irrespective of the time he bowls?
Irrespective. I think he'll be looking at the other 3 bowlers, other 12 overs. So that's going to be the key. Chances are Bumrah and Latsit Malinga, he'll take it easy. But the other 12 overs going to be very, very crucial.
One word answer, 177 the target. Yes, no? Brad?
I think Kings will get there, yeah.
Yes, for you.
I'm sitting on the fence here. I'm sitting on the fence. I know it's painful.
50-50 you're saying?
Yeah, 50-50 because, yeah, I mean, chasing would be easier. But looking at that bowling side, Mumbai, they're a gun bowling side.
Okay, lucky you. You won't even be there in that 10-over break as well. Otherwise, I would have caught you on that. Maybe the permutation combinations would have changed. Deep Dasgupta, Brad Hodge, thanks so much for joining us. That's all that we have for you. Live action has already begun. We'll see you at the end of 10 overs.